So this video goes out to the parents of any self-injurer. I am not a parent, so I will not pretend to know what that's about, but if I did have a kid and I found out they hurt themselves and were getting to self-injury, I would freak out. I mean, I would freak out. It doesn't matter how prepared I am, or how much I know about the subject, how much experience I have, I would freak out. So you have the right to feel whatever you feel, but you have to realize the kind of consequences that your reaction will have on your child. Okay, first thing I wanted to talk about is like kid that can be lumped in as like myths into self-injury, which is that cutters are suicidal. People who want to kill themselves would like cut the vein. They would take down enough pills to kill themselves. They wouldn't just like give themselves little. Most often when cutters cut, it's not deep cuts. Most often it's small cuts and not at the vein. So very much not for the intention of killing themselves. Actually, the point of cutting is more of a distraction. Even could say a will to live, rather than a will to die. Because if you're going through the effort of actually cutting your own skin just to be able to keep your head above water, then that means that you really want to live. That's not suicidal. That's the opposite of suicidal. Your child is fighting to live, okay? So congratulations to them. Seriously. Another thing is attention seeking. Many believe that self-injury is for attention seeking, like I'm cutting myself and ooh pity, look how I feel, what did I do, and it's so sad and bloody and gory and please take me under your pity wing. No, it's most people don't say that they self-injure, and when they do, it's incredibly difficult to do, and it's really not with the intent of like, here, please clean up my wound, I'm helpless, and but most often it is hidden, and even after someone finds out that we do it, we would even hide it then, or keep it on the down low and say it to as least as many people as possible. It's humiliating, it's shameful, even when my family knows that I cut, and I hide it. I wear long pants, and I wear these. My family, they don't see what I did. I am not proud of it. I do not show it off. And that is the same for so many cutters out there. Okay. Thinking. Not for attention. Okay, but let's say hypothetically that cutting is for attention. Like, we'll just say for a minute that it is, rather, okay? Self-injury is for attention. So, like say, I'm walking down the road, and you're walking down the road, and I'm like, hey! No, I just got your attention, didn't I? But now that I have your attention, what message do I want to give you? So I'm your kid, I'm bleeding, which is the hey. What message does your kid want to, what message are they going to give you? I'm lonely, I'm being bullied at school, someone hurt me in a really bad way, I can't be perfect, my grades are falling and I can't keep up with anything, and I'm afraid I'm not going to get into college, my boyfriend broke up with me, I'm being molested by the creepy neighbor guy. There's so many self-injury isn't necessarily to say, hey, ooh, ooh, ow, I'm bleeding, but it does mean something. We don't cut or burn or starve or purge for nothing. We do it for a reason, and what is that reason? Think about it, because if you have to see self-injury as a way of getting attention, now that you have that attention, what are you gonna do with it? Communicate. That's what you need to communicate with your kid and find out what the deeper meaning is, because self-injury isn't the real problem. The real problem is the problem behind behind the cutting. And reacting like getting mad or making fun, saying things like you're a big baby, that's gonna push the person away. That's gonna do a lot to push a person away. I've had people tell that to me before, all kinds of crap, about how it's oh, you want my attention, do you? Or making fun that I'm a big baby or whatever, and really what that does is distance me from the other person. I'm not going to continue talking to them after they've said that to me. It's actually going to alienate us. So if, in order to keep a better means of communication, maybe think about it a little bit before about what you want to say, how you want to approach it, because you need for your kid to be able to talk. If not with you, with someone else. They need help. They don't just need for you to know and that's it. They need help. And maybe discuss with them which ways they are comfortable with in getting help. Okay, I'm going to look and see if I had anything else on my list. Okay, another thing would be that self-injury isn't generally done as something cool, like a fad to fit in. That's a small class of people, and it shouldn't be generalized to everybody. It isn't traditionally done as a fad to fit in. Another thing that I feel is important to mention, that a lot, like I asked before this video, what people wanted to tell their parents, and something that came up a lot was to tell the parents it's not their fault. Okay? They really want you to know that it isn't your fault. You didn't do this. Life happens in the worst ways, and this is sometimes just a byproduct of that. And really, time and time again, there's that message. It is not your fault. Okay? So I want you to remember that. In conclusion, I'm going to put up a few links on the information as to where you can get some very good information for the family of self-injurers. So I hope this has been useful for you. If you guys have any questions, you can write them down in the comments or send me a PM. I'd be glad to answer.